Have you put your life on hold this year? Do you feel like your life is in suspended animation since what, March? Here it was like February, the middle of February. You know, when all of this COVID stuff started, we expected it to last what, a couple of months? And now it's been 8, 9 months. And they're talking about the middle of next year, maybe not even until end of next year until the vaccine or whatever helps make this thing end. But because of all this, does this year seem to be really long to you? Does it seem to be just dragging on and a year you want to maybe forget? You know, you've got no special events to look back on. You know, we mark time on memories and events and activities. You know, maybe there's really no milestones to mark 2020. Maybe you didn't take that big vacation you had planned to take. Maybe you didn't get to graduate from high school or from college. Um, Maybe you didn't get to play in that championship game, or your kids didn't get to play in that championship game. There was no Little League this summer. So there was none of these milestones, none of these achievements that you can mark the progress of the year over. It's just constant shutting down the economy, wearing masks, people being afraid, social distancing, self-isolation, whatever it is. You can't gauge a year on that. Yeah, we're living a new life. It's called a COVID life. And we have new routines. A lot of our routines are fewer outings. We're not going as many places as we used to. We're not hanging out with our friends as much as we used to. Some people are, and maybe that's causing a problem, and you have a problem with that. But is it making you feel like this is a throwaway year? That you just didn't get to do everything that you were planning for the year, and so it's just a throwaway year, and you were wishing it was over like a really bad nightmare? Yeah, I think we're all kind of had those same thoughts. Have you? But maybe you need to take the opportunity to learn something from the new year. Have you? Have you taken the opportunity in all of this challenge, all of these struggles, all of this weirdness to learn something new? Like a new hobby, or maybe go learn a new skill or learn a new talent. The memories that you will make doing that, by learning something new, will help make this time special and unique and set 2020 apart from all the other years, because, you know, maybe it was something you've always wanted to do. Maybe it's a hobby you've always wanted to start, or a skill you've always wanted to learn, or a talent you've always wanted to develop. And you just never had time, or you thought, oh, I'll get to it later. Well, it's been a year later, and it's not giving up anytime soon, so you might as well get started. The focus that's needed to create new events in your life, you can look back on them. And when you work on a hobby, I'm going to talk about a hobby maybe. When you develop a new hobby and you look back on it, you can create new events for 2020 that said, that was an interesting year because I got to do something I've always wanted to do because I had the time. So let's talk about a hobby for a little bit. What hobby would you like to learn? You know, maybe for me, you know, I remember for me when I didn't do it this year, but when I was a kid, I learned to play the guitar. I was awkward. Couldn't really figure out where to put my fingers correctly, and I was slow about it, and it was painful. You know, a little wire on your fingers, and, you know, I can't play right now because I think I broke my finger, but, you know, that buzzing on the strings, but then I figured out a few chords, and that was cool. And then I looked at some music, and some music I enjoyed, and I looked at the chords and was like, cool. And I learned how to play a song, and when I learned how to play that first song, it was like a whole new world opened up for me as a teenager. Because, you know, as a teenager living on a farm, it can get really kind of boring sometimes, and so I did that. So the initial stages of learning a new hobby or learning a new skill or developing a talent has a lot of growth in it, because you can feel it growing. It's like when I plant a seed in my garden out here, it'll sit there for a little while and you won't see a thing. And you'll wonder, oh, when is it going to come up? It's like learning a new skill or starting a new hobby. You're really slow about trying to figure it out and learning how to do it. Well, then all of a sudden that seed breaks the surface and it grows really fast. You can almost sit out there and watch it grow because it's springing to life. It's like learning a new hobby and you mastered the first step, and it's like, that's cool. So you keep going and you keep going and you keep growing. And it makes you feel good, and it lifts your spirits because you're learning something new. You're achieving something. You're tackling something you've always wanted to do. So many people are living today with COVID fear. I call it COVID fear. A hobby, learning a new skill, learning a new talent can shift your focus to a time of joy and a time of satisfaction because you're doing something in this weird time. You're doing something in this time of fear that you're learning, that you're getting better. You're creating something new. And that way you can look back on 2020 as a year of achievement instead of a year of fear, instead of a year of failures, instead of a year of I didn't get to do what I wanted to do. Take the time. You've got a month and a half. You got a little over a month and a half left in 2020. Take the time and start learning something new so you can look back on this year and go, that was the beginning of this for me. And it changed my life. Use it as a time of personal progress, something that you can grow into, something that you want to achieve. Create a reward for you in your life instead of living a suspended life. Create a rewarded life, not a suspended life. Take action. Take action in what it is you want to accomplish for you. Go find that thing you've always wanted to do and start. Because I promise you, when January 1st gets here, COVID's not going to go away. And 2021, the start of 2021, isn't going to be any different than 2020. So take action. Start a hobby. Learn a new skill. Develop a talent you've always wanted to develop. Give yourself something to look back on 2020 with pride instead of disgust, disdain, anger, fear, frustration. You are in control of that. You are in control of your attitude. You are in control of how you determine 2020 will be for you. So if you've kind of blown it off till now, that's okay. Start today. Whatever that is you want to learn something new. Between now and January 1st, learn something new. And I promise you, down the road, if you keep up with it, down the road, you're going to look back at the end of 2020 and go, you know, it wasn't so bad because now I can do this new thing. I have this new skill, or I've created a new hobby that, you know, maybe you can even make some money at it. That's so cool. I have a granddaughter. She's 11. She makes these really cool bracelets with these beads. I haven't seen it yet, but I hear she now has an Etsy page. And it's called Mally's Design Studio or something. I haven't really figured out what it's called yet and haven't found it. But I hear she's got an Etsy page where she's going to sell her really cool creation bracelets. That's what she's done in 2020. She's 11. What have you done? This is Mark Schinner coming to you from the porch again today with your Tuesday Truths. You can be in charge of how you determine 2020 was for you. You can let it be a waste, you can let it be a throwaway year, or you can let it be the beginning of something really cool in your life and learn something new and maybe help somebody else on that same road. So it's up to you. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great week. I'll be back and talk to you tomorrow.